while you two are talking, me, I love just playing some background music. Noodling around.
Okay.
Don't ask me to do nothing special. I'm just going to noodle.
Okay.
Noodle around.
But we got to ask you some questions about
sure.
some
You were
music.
starting to tell us a great story.
Oh.
Tell us what you can of the story.
Okay.
We're going back to Spill the Wine
Eric
in the Eric Burden days with War.
First of all, you have to understand there was a party going on during the days when Hendrix was still alive. Everybody was still alive. We were having massive parties. A young man like me who came out of Compton.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm coming on into the rock scene. All of a sudden, here I am. Eric is just having a ball watching this young guy, me, with a big afro and bell bottoms, a thug coming out of Compton, and getting into a whole nother atmosphere of music, which I come from the James Brown with some Pickett Otis Redding, you know, that whole syndrome.
Sure.
You know, and I mean, the Latin music was Mongo Santa Maria,
Right,
you know,
right.
just on and on and on. Anyway, I'm hanging around at this party, and we're jamming on the piano, you know, and you'll probably hear this story later on. It's written in the books wrong, but I'm telling you the true story.
Good. Okay. Let's do it.
I never had a fight with Jim Morrison.
Never did.
It was never a fight. It was a confrontation of being. He was probably drinking too much coffee at the time.
Probably coffee.
Yeah. And I was drinking probably too much the Kool-Aid.
Sure.
And the sugar, you know.
The sugar
makes people
content, it really
act
Yeah, you
weird.
like yourself.
So anyway, what happened was that I guess he was sleepy and in a trance. So I guess he was irritable, and I just had to, and he confronted me in a bad way, me being young, and he was like an Eric Burden fan, lived down the hill from Eric, you know.
Yeah.
And was always there. Anyone could come in the house and you would never know. I'm not going to really get deep into, you have to read my book.
Oh, well, I'm thinking to myself, where's he going? Give us more.
Anyway, we were
Okay.
jamming on the piano.
Okay.
Jim decided to jump on top of the piano and knock the
Oh, this is.
piano lid on my hand. And in the middle of me creating the track to Spill the Wine. And I'm saying, what the? And,
Jim's on the piano.
on top.
On top.
In the Superman outfit. What the?
Superman
So we got into a confrontation almost like baseball players. Anyway, but that's, I'm not going to go any further until you read my book. And then we went to the studio the next day, Wally Heider's. Eric Burden was in the middle of another confrontation. I think he was drinking Kool-Aid. But
More than
anyway,
Kool-Aid.
he was in the booth, recording booth with a young lady.
Yes.
And they were talking. They must have been talking because I think something happened that she must have fainted because I didn't see her anymore.
I see. So, well,
So-
it gets warm in those booths.
Yeah, she must have fainted. I think it was too hot in there or
Sure,
something.
yeah,
But I didn't see her, and I said, what happened to her? And I'm behind in the control room
Yeah.
with a big bottle of sangria wine.
Okay.
And I had a styrofoam cup, I guess you call it. And I started pouring wine in there, and I'm trying to see what's going on, and all of a sudden, bam! The cup went over into the studio, into the board. And it started frying. And Eric saw this, and all of a sudden everything started flickering. I mean, it was just going crazy, smoke coming out of everywhere. And Eric just busted up laughing. I never saw the girl, by the way.
Right. She
And
probably
was
ran
in
for the
there.
hills. She was frightened.
She, Puerto Rican girl speaking Spanish. She was still speaking. We were still recording. The tape was still going. It's just that we couldn't get it through the board. And all of a sudden, Eric had this idea. Spill the wine! And he kept singing it over and over and over. And that's how Spill the Wine was born. Because of my stupidness.
Because
My stupidness because I never saw the girl come back up.
well, you know,
She
probably
fainted.
drank too much of that wine.
Yeah, well, she was drinking Kool-Aid.
So good. So that whole story is in your new book, which is called.
Well, I'll tell the truth in my book.
Okay, we would expect that.
Because I have to protect the innocent.
And the book is called.
War Stories.
War Stories.
Which is the name of my
Which is
album.
the name of the album. I'm wearing a
Solo.
little sticker here on my shirt, which is the new CD's album cover. And that comes out July 24th?
July 24th. And also in my songs, and in my book is the experience that we had the night before Jimi Hendrix died. A lot of people don't know that we were the last band to jam with them.
Really?
Like Ronnie Scott's in England.
Uh-huh.
And Jimmy being a great friend of Eric's, of course, you know, and Chas Chandler, the Animals,
Right.
from Eric's early group, was the guy who really brought Jimi Hendrix to the music industry. He produced his first album. So that's why we had the connection. Everyone was curious to see, who's Eric's new group? Who are these guys? Where are they from? They're from Antigua. Where are they from? We were all from Long Beach and Compton, San Pedro, Harbor City. But no one knew because we started in England. We started around Eric's hometown, Newcastle.
Yeah.
And we just did our tour, and Eric had enough with MGM Records at the time. My crew.
Ready for a change.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, well, let's hear that song. If we can bring up "Spill the Wine" back in the studio and roll that for the audience to listen to. Tommy should be here in 5 more monkeys. So let's do "Spill the Wine." This is Eric Burden, the man who discovered, and he'll tell you more about that a little later on, War, and Lonnie Jordan doing "Spill the Wine" on Kool
KXKL Denver Boulder
105.
Hey, there's that B3.